3 to 5 minutes talking about progress in AI in the past decades, and AI has been. The history AI has been characterized in one way by the grand challenges. People think intelligent machines should be able to play the game like a chess. So it's at the beginning of the AI research, chess has been one of the major challenges, and it took a while for us to it took 50 years since the ENIAC to actually build a machine that can play the chess and beat best human in the world. So in 1997, IBM Deep Blue won a Kasparov, and then after a while, 15 years, we got shogi, Japanese version of chess, beating one of the best shogi players in Japan. And then we witness a couple months ago, AlphaGo actually beating one of the best Go champions. What is interesting at that time is that in chess, Kasparov think he recognized he made a mistake, and he complains that machine don't make mistake, and he get tired, machine don't get tired. So he attributed his loss as the human weakness. And the shogi and the Go actually is interesting because a player couldn't understand why they are losing. So and then the machine is actually envisions what people cannot do. So that's actually a big difference. And now actually Jeopardy, the quiz show, that's been won already. And we're talking about autonomous driving and the RoboCup, this is which is more on the open-ended natural environment. So the RoboCup, this is an initiative I created 18 years ago. And the goal was that by 2050, building a team of fully autonomous human robot which win against the human World Cup champion and then official regulation of FIFA. So basically, this is about creating a soccer robot and try to actually use the technology to build, towards this goal for the other domains. So I'd like to show you some of the video from the first year of the RoboCup. Oops, cursor here. 1997, this is the first year. Robot is not moving. So this is, let's say this is the World Cup robot. So BBC, CNN, NHK, all there. And that's filming this robot which is not moving at all. Now, 2014, this is 2 years ago. Now this is it's still moving and in a great teamwork and very agile. This robot is not remote control. They have their own sensor. They actually understand the environment. They make decisions. They make teamwork coordinations, and they go for it. So after the game started, the people cannot really touch anything. You're just watching it. Those robots actually make decisions and play the game. Now, and this is actually the small size. There are a couple other size configurations. This is a small robot, but it's fully autonomous. If you look at some of the shooting patterns, they actually make a really good teamwork. Actually, they instantly back up and then they score, right? So that's the interesting about this is that you can actually use fully autonomous robot team against the 6 or 7 people actually just controlling this robot as a drones, you can do the joystick. And what happened is, in that case, human control robot cannot even touch the ball. They can actually make decisions in a sub-millisecond order, which we can't. So in that case, we have no chance of winning or no chance of touching the ball at all. Or the only time you can touch is a robot actually make a mistake and shoot onto a robot. And that's the time you can just touch the ball. So this is a very okay. So that's the status. And then some of the applications, the early days actually the guy and the Cornell, Professor Cornell actually used this technology to have the warehouse management, and they created a company called Kiva Systems. And that was acquired by Amazon, which is now Amazon Robotics, actually. Now, so what they do is instead of chasing after the balls, they actually created this kind of robot to actually autonomously move those commodities and around the warehouse. So the traditional warehouse management robot has been more structured, central control. This is fully distributed control, and they can make decisions. Depends on the purchase order, which one to actually, cargo to be bringing to the picking station in which order, so the human can just, pick the thing and package in Amazon and ship out. So this is Amazon warehouse now, pretty much automated. Now, and then also I got this Aibo robot, which I getting involved, and So this is like old good film from the eyeball league, which in Oroboka, like people just programmed eyeball. This is all the same hardware control, provided by the Sony, and just like all the researcher and provide the program for that. And actually, they are not going to program how to behave. They actually program learning system and they train the eyeball or train the robot. The old robot you see in the recent day is no one programming it. They actually been trained to play that. In the early days, which is when you saw like an immovable robot, actually that's the day we have been programming how the robot should behave. Nowadays, we don't program that way. We just like train the robot. So that's actually a big change happening now. So what's the implication is the medicine here? This is, I won't be able to go into detail because this is unpublished data. Some of the machine learning can be used to classify the patient. So this is one of the therapeutic area. We classify the patient in 30 group. And then now, this patient group actually, current therapy is apply some medicines for all the categories. But by machine learning, we can actually stratify into the 3 groups, which is effective, less effective, which actually relapse, or remissions, which is very effective. And this has been not known, and this is a new discovery, and we actually go down to the 3 biomarkers to be able to distinguish that. This is yet another therapeutic area. We can actually see this group can be stratified into the 3 categories, but if you look at this, there are outliers and some of them transitions, some maybe some new subgroups. So like by having unsupervised learning, applying some of the technology we use for the robot behavior control, we can apply the same machine learning technique to very specifically classify the patient. And that actually because of the cognitive limitations we have. And then I'd like to actually spend a couple last slides and this introductory in an interesting case of how the robot, the AI can see something we cannot see. This is the original image on the left. It's a school bus, and the deep learning neural net actually trained to recognize this, right? So like there says this is the original image, the school bus. But the deep learning identified the right image as the school bus and ostrich. And we don't see the ostrich at all. And the actual difference is actually middle. There's some specific shape of the noise, and this is being amplified. They detected that shape, and they recognize this is ostrich, and then if you wonder, it looks like this, right? So like, this is a case usually quoted as like a fragility or instability of the deep learning convolutional neural network image analysis. But at the same time, if you think about it carefully, this neural network actually is able to detect the image which we cannot. So this is kind of interesting implications and how we can actually use this for understanding the kind of patient group or disease categorization which we may not be able to recognize, but AI may be able to tell us the specific kind of categories. And those are the example, centipede, the jackfruit, and we have no idea what's going on, but they recognize that. And actually, they're associated image which exactly that. So like, well-trained neural network system today, in some cases, we should be able to see what we cannot see. Okay, that's the current state of the art. Thank you very much.